Good morning and welcome back to Questioning Sense with me, Matt. I hope you guys are well. We are absolutely fine and we're going swimmingly. I'm home alone, so it's just me and the dog. Hopefully the big beast will be quiet while I film the video, but more importantly, we're here today to talk about Ormonde Jayne and one of their relatively new releases. The last time we spoke about Ormonde Jayne on the channel, we were talking about Arabesque, which is a stunning rose oud. There's a little bit of fruit. There's a full review of it on the channel, so please, if you're a fan of rose ouds or if you're a fan of just masterful perfumery, then watch the video, because this is such a stunning fragrance. I absolutely love it, and I absolutely love this bottle. Ormonde Jayne have moved across now to the 88ml bottles like this one, so they've done away with the smaller ones and the larger ones. So it's just they're all focused on this, by the way, on this size, by the way. These bottles are stunning. They're heavy. They're beautiful. They're the way that they're made. It's just the quality is absolutely amazing. But since this one, there's been a few more releases, and I had intended on doing a video on 3 perfumes, but because they're Ormonde Jayne, they're so complicated and so good, I'll be doing you a bit of a disservice by trying to rush them through. But the other new ones are Cashmere and Bukhara. Now these are from the Silk Road collection, the French being Rue de la Soie, I believe. My French is terrible, so I will stick to calling them the Silk Route. So there you go. These two will have videos on each of them coming up, because I do really need to talk about these. They're fantastic perfumes and very, very welcome additions to my collection. I love them both equally. But today we're going to be talking about this one, which is right there. And this is Vanille des Afriques, or the Vanille des Afriques. And it's an Intensivo, so it's part of the 4 Corners of the Earth collection. So this sits with the likes of Nawab of Oud and Montebaco Intensivo, those fragrances. And it's absolutely brilliant. But I really want to talk about this one in quite a lot of detail, because it's such a magnificent perfume. It's changed how I feel about vanilla fragrances. So I have about 5 or 6 vanilla-centric perfumes in my collection. When I say vanilla-centric, I mean vanilla's the star of the show, not, tobacco with vanilla or, fruits and vanilla, where vanilla plays the prominent part. And what I used to tend to do was smell one on someone and think, well, that smells amazing, and then go and try it. I'd spray it in store and think, wow, this is fabulous. And then they would go to my collection and I would kind of leave them alone. And I started to come to the conclusion that vanilla as a material, especially when it's the main material, tends to smell better on other people than it does me, in my head anyway. So then this came along and it's just changed my way of thinking. Vanilla is definitely the star of this perfume. But there are, as always with the Ormonde Jayne fragrances, it's a very modern and complex perfume. Lots of other materials involved to star with the vanilla. So yeah, this is about Madagascan vanilla, it's about bourbon vanilla, vanillas from the continent of Africa effectively. Sorry, I'm speaking terribly today. But there's so much more to it. And it wears completely differently to anything I've smelt in the vanilla world before. In fact, it's a really, really unique perfume. I absolutely adore it. And so does my wife. She wears this all the time. I wear this all the time, which is to be expected with Ormonde Jayne, because, Linda Pilkington has pioneered this approach to perfumery where there is no masculine, there is no feminine. We're talking completely genderless perfume. So everybody can wear everything from all of the collections, and I think that's a really, really good approach, because perfume is perfume. It changed over the years when marketing people got involved with it and started producing fragrances that are marketed for men and marketed for females and that kind of thing. So this sort of whole everyone can wear everything approach is fantastic. I'm waffling and I'm well aware of that. So what we'll do is I'm going to spray a bit now, and I've worn it 3 times this week for work. So, I really wanted to get into this one before we did the video, and it has just impressed the hell out of me every single time. So I'm going to spray a little bit now. I have the dry down on this wrist, so I'm going to get the opening on this wrist now. I absolutely, just fills the room. I absolutely love these bottles. Everything about them are perfect. The atomizer, the heavy cap, the cut glass, it's beautiful. Okay, So let's have a look at the notes and let's delve into the perfume. So on the top you have orris butter, you have jasmine absolute, you have magnolia bud oil, and you have osmanthus. Then in the middle you have coriander seed, you have Sicilian bergamot, you have carrot seed, and you have pink pepper. And then on the base you have Madagascan vanilla, you have bourbon vanilla, you have cedarwood, you have vetiver, you have musks, and you have a little bit of amber. So it's an ambery kind of perfume. Obviously vanilla is going to be the star, but this is where it gets really, really interesting to me. So when you spray this, it's so intense, it almost smells like there's some booze in here, but there isn't. It just smells like it. It's such a big hitting, dramatic opening. It's fabulous. You are aware straight away of the florals. The iris and the jasmine kind of really, really shine at this point, but the base of the vanilla is apparent from the get-go. But this isn't a screechingly sweet, synthetic, teeth-itching teenage vanilla perfume that we're kind of expected, or we've become sort of used to. The fragrances that are marketed for teens and things like that always seem to be very sweet and very vanilla-y, and this isn't. There is some sweetness, it balances it out, but it's not this like thick custard-like smell that you will often find with a vanilla fragrance. This is very, very grown up. It's very elegant and it's very luxurious. But as things go on, you start to pick out the notes. And every time I've worn this, I've found something different to my nose. Sometimes, well, especially when it's colder, the jasmine absolute pings out. It becomes very, very much the note that I focus on most to my nose. But the osmanthus, which is a really interesting material because it's often quite peachy, and I think sometimes osmanthus to me smells a little boozy, so that's where I think the booze is coming from when you smell this. As I say, there is no booze in here, but it does smell a little bit boozy, and I'm putting the blame on the osmanthus, which I love. The carrot seed is really interesting to me because that gives the fragrance a really earthy feel, and I think that does something to help neutralise the potential sweetness and gloopiness. So you have this Sicilian bergamot, which to me, I couldn't tell you the difference between Sicilian bergamot or bergamot from Bergamo, I don't know. But what it does do is it gives a real citrus edge, and that's where I think the balance comes. This is why I really like this. It's not an overly feminine perfume at all. It is quite a masculine vanilla. And I'm pretty sure it's that citrus accord that cuts through the thickness of the perfume just to give it even more balance. There is so much texture in this fragrance. Honestly, it feels like you can stroke what you're wearing. And I know that sounds incredibly weird, but that's how I feel. It's just one of those fragrances that has everything. It's got some punchiness. It's got a little bit of spice. The pepper kind of pings around, and any given day you will smell something different. And where I wear this to work, it's fantastic because I work for the majority of my day, I'm outside and it's cold. So you've got this smell of this perfume, and then when I nip into a warmer area, it changes completely, and you pick up a different accord. Your nose focuses on something else. Fantastic! It's absolutely a pleasure to wear. So this has easily become my favourite vanilla by an absolute mile, and it's probably the only one I'm going to wear now because I can't pick up one of my other vanilla-centric perfumes and think, is it better than this? No, and I'll go back to this one. And Vanille des Afriques will be the one I always go for. So this bottle's going to get absolutely hammered. I mean, I've had it for a while, and you can see the dent in it. And when you consider how well this fragrance performs, it's up there with Noailles of Oud, and it's up there with all the Intensivos from Ormonde Jayne. The phenomenal performance. It's an incredibly long-lasting perfume. So my working day is about 7.5 to 8.5 hours long. That's actually the part where I'm working. And then I leave an hour before I start and I get back about an hour after I finish. So my working day is about 10 hours. It's not too bad. And that's got a moderate amount of exercise. I walk about an awful lot during my working day. And I can still smell that perfectly on me when I come home. So if you're, looking for something more than 10.5 hours, then you're insane. This is exactly what you want it to be in terms of performance. It has good projection, especially in the first couple of hours. The sillage is incredible. All of Ormonde Jayne's fragrances seem to use This beautiful blend of top-notch natural materials with modern synthetics to enhance everything. So you're getting the best of both worlds. You're having these wonderful modern synthetic aroma chemicals in the perfume, blended with these beautiful, highly expensive natural materials to create the ultimate perfumes. Now, Ormonde Jayne under Linda Pilkington's Ormonde Jayne has been doing this for a long time, and they've stayed so true to the ethos of the company to make the best perfumes that they possibly can with the best materials. And they do it time and time again. Every time there's a new release, they just knock it out the park. Easily my favourite British brand. And I just think the passion from the company is, led by Linda. And I've been very lucky. I've met Linda on a couple of occasions and we've talked perfume. And her passion for this project, for this house, this brand that she's created, is unparalleled. She will talk to you for hours about the perfumes, about the goal, about where the brand is going. It's absolutely a treat to hear her talk with such gusto about her. Oh, hello. About her perfumes and about her collection. I'm in love with the house. So in closing, this is a fantastic addition to, the Ormonde Jayne collection. My favourite vanilla by a country mile. I cannot say enough good things about this beautiful, beautiful, long-lasting, elegant, fabulous perfume. This retails at just under £300. I think it's £290 for the 88ml. It does seem an expensive perfume, but this is high-end luxury perfumery. Lots of naturals in it, and I personally think absolutely worth every single penny. It's just a joy to own. Love it. If, however, you don't want to go down that route, you don't want to buy a bigger bottle, there is this option for you as well. And these are the 10ml travel sprays, which are incredibly affordable. So you get 10 mils of your favourite Ormonde Jayne perfume in one of these beautiful bottles that you can just pop in your bag and carry around if you need to top up. And that's something you won't need to do with this one because it lasts all day. So if you're going out in the evening, spray this before you leave and you'll still be smelling beautiful when you come home. So there we have it. That's my take on Ormonde Jayne's absolutely stunning perfume Vanille des Afriques. Highly recommended, a true 10 out of 10 knockout perfume and one that I adore. Anyway, as always, thank you very much for your time and we shall see you soon on the next video. So cheers, thanks and bye.